Hello and welcome to The Road Ahead. I'm your host, Freddie. Today I'll also be joined by Gracie, who's stopped by to help out. Together we're going to reel off some transport facts which will make you either laugh or cry. So let's jump in. Welcome back to The Road Ahead, a Road Access podcast. And on my left today is Gracie.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me today.
Well, it's good to be here.
You might recognize Gracie from a couple of voiceovers, so I thought I'd get her to join me on this one.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love a good factoid? You just never know when it might come in helpful, like your local quiz night.
Well, you do come out with some of the most random pieces of knowledge I have heard, so thanks for helping me out.
My pleasure. I've got a few surprises for this too.
I'm sure. So let's get this show rolling. What's first on our list today then?
Well, Freddie, did you know that tyres actually used to be white?
Crikey, really?
It's true. Modern tyres are, of course, black, but today we don't get a choice on this other than on the rims. But when tyres were first manufactured, they were white. The manufacturers added zinc oxide to the rubber to make it stronger and bright white.
Brilliant. I can't work out from this if cars would look better or worse.
Well, they would certainly look interesting in snow.
Maybe. Not so sure about that one. What's coming up next?
So you'll love this one. The average time a British driver spends in traffic over their lifetime is 99 days, so just over 3 months.
Geez, I thought it might be more, you know. But 3 months?
Yep, 3 months.
That's like a prison sentence, but in your car.
Well, I hadn't thought of it like that, but yeah, I suppose you might. Okay, so grab some popcorn for the next one.
All right, I'll go get some.
So the first speeding ticket in the UK was issued, wait for it, in 1902 for driving 8 miles per hour in a 2 mile per hour zone.
Savage.
Yeah, a little bit, but you can't be too careful with speed. I mean, it's not even second gear for a horse.
Just another reason to enjoy modern day living.
You could say that, but let's move on. So believe it or not, cruise control was not actually invented by Tom Cruise, but by a blind man.
You're joking.
Nope. Frustrated by his driver's inconsistent speeds, Ralph Titor developed cruise control in 1945, transforming long-distance driving by maintaining a constant speed. You could argue that this actually also set driverless cars in motion.
And ultimately Elon Musk.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, maybe one day I'll have a pizza on Mars with him.
He actually wants to open his own pizza place on Mars, so it could happen.
Well, I've now set it in motion.
Okay, Freddie. Anyway, you'll be shocked by this. Apparently, seatbelts save lives. They reduce the risk of death by 45% and were first introduced in the 1950s. They became, and still remain, a fundamental and legal safety requirement. Studies show they save thousands of lives every year. In 1959, English engineer George Cayley invented seatbelts for his glider, but it was Volvo engineer Niels Bohlin who developed the modern 3-point seatbelt. Although the design was patented, Volvo left the patent open, making it free to all vehicle manufacturers.
This is why everyone should drive a Volvo.
Maybe. Pretty good of them, really. They actually have a vision that no one should be seriously injured or killed in a new Volvo car. They're even going one step further, aiming for no collisions at all.
Interesting.
Well, safety is their thing, really.
Okay, what's next?
So, airbags became standard in cars in the 1980s, significantly reducing crash fatalities in the process. The origins were actually designed to cover aeroplanes and other vehicle parts, and a patent was filed in the United States by 2 dentists in 1919, Arthur Parrott and Harold Round.
Okay, so the next time you buy a car, ask them to show you if the airbags actually work.
Freddie, I'm not sure how they do that other than take you on a test drive and park into a post.
But at least you'd know, right?
Right, that also might cause a traffic jam, which brings me to our next fact, the longest traffic jam. Any ideas?
50 miles?
No.
100?
The longest traffic jam occurred in China in 2010, lasting 12 days and stretching over 60 miles.
Oh my God, 12 days stuck in traffic.
Yep. Drivers on the Beijing-Tibet Expressway faced an excruciatingly slow crawl due to construction, highlighting the challenges of rapid urbanization in the region.
I think I'd move after that.
Well, wait till you hear this. The longest car ever built, called, you guessed it, the American Dream, was a limousine stretching over 100 feet, complete with its own helipad.
So pointless if you can't fly.
Well, it also had several bedrooms too.
Ah, okay, to help fight off driver fatigue.
Exactly.
Was this the most expensive car too?
Funnily enough, no. The most expensive car to date was the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 200 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe, which set a new record back in 2022, fetching an astonishing $135 million, £144.4 million in our money.
Right, enough on cars. Throw us a random bus fact.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but the London buses were not always red.
That's sacrilege.
It's true. In the early 1900s, London buses were operated by a number of different companies. It wasn't until London General Omnibus Company painted its entire fleet red to stand out from competitors that the colour red caught on. Until then, London buses used to be all sorts of colours.
And what's the longest bus route?
Well, actually, it's the London to Calcutta bus, covering 15,000 kilometres. That's about 9,321 miles.
Quite short then.
Well, it's a long commute. This legendary route, operational from the 1950s to the 1970s, took travellers on an epic journey across continents, offering a unique travel experience.
These are good. What else have you got?
Well, what's the first thing you think of when you see the colour red?
Stop Danger, Man United.
Okay, well, that's three things, but it's not an American school bus. And the reason for this is that yellow is more attention-grabbing than red, so American school buses were made yellow.
That's a proper quizzer question right there.
Sort of thing that would pop up on the chase.
That's why people tune into this, because you just never know when that might be helpful.
Why else exactly?
Okay, a few more then.
So buses are actually safer than cars. Not only are buses more environmentally friendly, but they are a safer form of transport than cars. The more people who use buses, the fewer cars there are on the road, bringing down carbon emissions. With fewer cars, there is less chance of accidents. According to one recent study from the Journal of Public Transportation, the risks associated with travelling by car or lorry are roughly 60 times greater than public transportation via a bus.
So if every community had properly functioning bus services, we'd all be better off and have safer roads too.
Yep, the evidence is pretty strong and healthier through less emissions. Here's a fact you'll like. Road Access supported the first blended DRT service that went into operation in Derbyshire in February this year, 2024. It was the first to launch, accommodating not only the general public, but also community transport users too. As you know, it accommodates virtual bus stops with home pickups for those eligible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool this. The call centre aligns directly in the middle too, to accommodate those who don't have immediate access to the booking app.
It just directly ties into everything that Road Access has been about right since the start, to enable communities, no matter who you are, to get to where you need to be safely and efficiently.
I think it was Ollie who said it, the Road Access founder, that without movement, we go nowhere.
It's true. Look what happened during the pandemic, what it did to people's well-being and mental health. We need movement. We all need to get to places. Community transport plays a vital role in this, known as social inclusion. They help reduce isolation and promote community engagement among vulnerable populations by providing affordable and accessible transport. So much more needs to be done to support these services. They rely on community support and government grants, highlighting the importance of social investment in transport infrastructure.
Yep, and volunteers, who make a massive difference every single day.
It often goes unnoticed too.
Well, we better wrap this up. This wasn't too bad, was it, Gracie?
Well, I survived. I hope I was able to provide some helpful or random facts which might ensure someone somewhere wins a quiz.
Well, if they do, I might invite you back.
We might never know.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe or visit our website at roadaccess.com.
Thanks for tuning in and having me on the show.
Until next time on the road ahead, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.